Hey guys, I just want to give a shout out to this week's Patreons, Jason Edmonds, Ben Mason, and Ashley Reynolds. Thank you guys so much for showing your support, and you can show your support if you visit the Gargantucast Patreon page, in the link if you're listening on YouTube, or look up Gargantucast on Patreon. Now let's start the episode.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
We've also been getting strange reports of something moving.
It's alive! A gigantic beast!
I mean, it must be 300 feet tall.
Oh god, it's Gargantucast!
Welcome all Kaiju fans on the internet. This is Chris.
I'm Cole! I'm not sick anymore!
Woo! Episode 3, guys. How you doing, Cole?
I'm doing very good. I'm glad that I got that sick out of me. I'm much better and ready and much happier, in a much better mood, and I'm ready for a more excited, more positive episode of Gargantucast.
Cool. And let's start with this week's Kai news. Alright, first, we gotta recap some of the Godzilla news, well, at least NECA's part of Toy Fair, which was last week as a recording, and I'm gonna show off the NECA reveals. So here's the full display they had.
I like the effects part.
Oh, yeah.
NECA's usually pretty good on effect parts.
Yeah, definitely. Not SH Monster Arts, but at least they actually try to have effect parts.
We got Godzilla, and he's got like an atomic breath effect coming out, and it looks like it's got like an explosion effect, so you could probably make a lot of good poses on your shelves with your other figures.
Especially the fact we're getting two Godzillas. We're getting version 1 without the atomic breath effects, and version 2.
He's got like the glowing scales.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you a close look at version 1. Apparently they used the CGI models to create this figure that Legendary provided.
So it's really detailed.
Yeah.
You can see every bump and crack on all of his scales.
It looks a lot better than the first NECA 2014.
His tail looks a bit rigid, but like...
I mean, that's how it looks.
You gotta have it for flexibility.
Yeah. Here's version 2, glowing. Apparently, I'm not sure it's going to be glow in the dark. It kind of looks like that with this picture.
I mean, that could just be lighting, but it does look like there might be like maybe like an LED in his mouth to make the atomic breath light up.
Apparently, with pre-orders, it's just a basic painted figure, so I'm not sure if they're using glow-in-the-dark paints or not.
Okay, it could just be lighting for the photo.
Probably. Here's Mothra, and if you notice, she actually has a detailed base.
Yeah, she has a stand.
Yeah, she has a stand that's detailed, not like the SH Monsters, which is just plastic. And it looks like it's the cocoon.
Yeah, it looks like the cocoon's like sitting on top of like a building or something.
Also, she has an accessory. She gets a larva form accessory.
Oh, little baby larva. Can you go back to Can you go back one?
Sure.
The detail on her wing, it looks like the eye of like a large cat.
Actually, when they revealed the Mothra design, last year they basically said her eye thing on her wings is supposed to be Godzilla's eyes to scare off predators. Which moths do that.
I know moths like have wing patterns to try and like either camouflage or be like intimidating to like look venomous or something.
Yeah.
But like the situation is that like she's bright orange when Godzilla's like a gator looking color.
Bright orange, but remember it looks like she changes color.
Yeah, she had a lot of glowy, colory bits in the trailers.
So yeah.
I'm just saying for this figure, if that's like what they were going for, it's like it's just strange.
Yeah. So here's Rodan with a lava base.
Yeah, like he just popped out that volcano.
Yeah, the Monarch base. And I do have to clarify one thing. NECA has said, at the current moment, no plans for Ghidorah.
But that doesn't mean just no Ghidorah, full stop.
Well, the thing is, I'm not holding my breath because when they were asked, they said if they made a Ghidorah to scale with all the Godzilla figures, it would cost roughly $100 to $150.
I hope that police siren doesn't pick up on the recording.
If it is, I've heard podcasts had worse things in the background.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm just saying, I like that's just funny. I just heard a police siren fly by my window.
Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to Florida. Chris, are we sure we're supposed to be sharing this information? Is NECA calling the police on us?
I don't know. I mean, they're open on Twitter, so if they're calling the police...
Yeah, they're calling out assholes who be like, where's my Ghidorah?
No, seriously, Kaiju fans, leave them alone, like, please.
They're just a toy company.
Yeah,
chill the fuck out.
We're getting other Ghidorah figures. I mean, with the SH Monster...
Like, it's Ghidorah.
Yeah.
We're gonna, like that's like if they made a new Transformers movie, and there's just, no Megatrons. We're gonna get some Ghidorah figures. Chill out, guys.
It's just NECA's not gonna do it at the moment. If they do, great. If not, you can get SH Monster or the Bandai figure.
Or just wait for like the really expensive, high detailed bootleg figures.
We don't support bootleg figures. Please don't.
Just do your thing, guys. We're in support. Just do your thing.
All right. Just leave NECA alone.
I'm gonna get away from the mic. That was probably creepy.
Yeah. All right. So, that's it for Toy Fair when it comes to NECA. No plans for Ghidorah at the moment, but we're getting 4 figures.
Yeah.
Regular Godzilla and Mothra are released for Q2 2019. So in the ballpark from like April to June. And Godzilla 2 and Rodan are Q3, so around July to September area.
Right.
So, yeah. Now, next on Kai News, we're going to talk about the new TV spot reveal.
Yes, I have just watched it for the first time a couple minutes before starting recording. Chris likes to keep me out of the loop. He wants my reactions very fresh. I mentioned this in an earlier episode. I think it was literally last episode.
We only have 2 episodes so far. Now
2
3.
episodes previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned this last time, but Chris usually likes to try and keep me out of the loop, so my reactions are very new, genuine, and fresh. So, I have seen a lot of the screen caps on Twitter of, like, Rodan flying at Ghidorah. I've been loving the Rodan getting killed memes.
10 photos right before disaster happened.
No, that's good. No, one of my absolute favorites.
Was it
the one you retweeted where it was just like a grave, and it's like Rodan, 1990 something to
1950 something.
It was like 1950 to 2019. It's like Jackass. What did you think was gonna happen when you go after King Ghidorah 1v1?
I'm proud of the one I did on Twitter with the Mr. Popo from DBZ at Bridge.
Oh yeah, he's gonna die.
Probably.
I've been loving those memes. Keep them coming, guys. Those are fantastic.
Let's talk about the other elephant in the room. The 2 other kaijus that feature.
Yeah, Spiky Boy coming out of the ground and Torterra from Pokemon.
So, Michael Dougherty, the director, in a recent interview, I believe in a Japanese magazine, pretty much clarified these are original kaijus made by Legendary. They're not Toho monsters.
Rad. Okay, so we're getting some newbies.
Yeah, and because a lot of people, especially the Mound one, a lot of people are like, oh, is it Anguirus? Is it Baragon? I heard someone say, like, Gamera confirmed, and I'm like...
Gamera.
Different companies, guys, also.
I mean, we've never gotten Gamera versus Godzilla, but if they did that, I feel the movie would be really crowded.
Also, they would have made a big deal out of it.
Absolutely.
And, like... They also revealed the copyrights they have because they have to make it public.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers got Godzilla, Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah from Toho. That's it.
But like we're having like new original kaijus and they don't have to announce because like they had to announce it for the company.
And not only that, I feel like they're going to be a minor role in this film. I feel like they're just going to pop up and feel like Godzilla, Rodan, or Ghidorah is just going to eat them.
Like we might have like a moment from Godzilla Final Wars where one of them just gets smacked aside and one-shotted with atomic breath.
Kind of like in Kong Skull Island, where the main threat were the skull crawlers, but we had other monsters here and there.
Like King Kong fighting that squid.
The squid, the bamboo.
That weird bamboo spider.
Yeah, just to, make the world more alive.
Yeah.
And last bit of Kai News. Wow, okay, let me clarify. Because of the last episode, I'm at least going to talk about 3 things.
Yeah, we went super overboard with Kai News last episode.
Yeah,
but we're just nerds excited over something, and like we babble. We haven't gotten any negative feedback, but it did feel a little excessive, so we tried to trim it down a bit.
We're going to try to aim for smaller episodes, just so you guys don't have to listen to 2 hours of nerds talking. And,
unless you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But 50 minutes for just the news seemed a little excessive. So from now on, we're trying. We're not going to succeed every time, but for Kai News segments, we're going to try to keep it to a 20-minute maximum.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh, we having technical difficulties?
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Wait, there we go.
All right. For anyone curious, just so we could be 100% real with you guys, our reader for our audio got stuck. We were just trying to make sure we weren't our fucking recording system didn't crash.
Yeah. All right, so last bit of Kai News we're going to talk about. So Kong vs. Godzilla's release date has been moved back from May 22nd, 2020 to March 13th, 2020.
Okay, so it's not got bumped back a ton.
We were getting it earlier.
Oh, wait, I heard that wrong. I'm sorry.
When we say push back, it's actually further back in the year.
Yeah, it got pushed forward then, so it's coming out earlier.
Yeah. So the reason why it's been pushed back is because it had some really steep competition. Even though I'm not a big fan of these films, it shared a release date with the newest Fast and the Furious film. And while Well, the thing is...
Like Hobbs and Shaw, or whatever it's called.
I don't know. But the thing is, Fast and Furious has been consistently been a moneymaker. And I don't think Warner Brothers is not too confident with Kong vs. Godzilla in terms of just competition.
I mean, like, because, like, for as big as fans as we are of the kaiju genre, like, we have to admit, it's a very niche genre. It's not as huge as other franchises, especially in America.
Yeah.
Like, I feel in places like China and Japan, they probably do a lot better.
Yeah.
But in terms of America, it's kind of small.
Especially the Fast and Furious films do gangbusters in China.
Yeah, like, I mean, special effects heavy films and, like, really, really balls to the wall, crazy action films make a lot of money in China.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Michael Bay movies, Transformers movies, didn't they do fucking immensely well in Chinese box offices?
Yeah. So what? So I saw something that made me laugh, and I decided to add it to the joke.
What's up?
March 13th is a Friday 13th.
Oh, we're getting King Kong versus Godzilla
versus Jason.
I saw you retweet that.
Oh, have you seen the Robot Chicken?
Yeah,
Godzilla versus Jason.
Jason versus Godzilla. If you get a minute, check out that post, or just find it on YouTube.
Yeah, Robot Chicken posted it on YouTube.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. All right.
I love when comedy predicts the future.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah, I'm pretty. But hey, we get. It's funny. It's coming out the same month that Kong Skull Island came out, because it also came out in March.
Huh.
And March is becoming a
the March of Kong.
Yeah, and March is a new desirable release date. As we've seen,
I mean, it's right after the January. Phew, that was close zone of film releases.
I mean, February is becoming a box office. There's summer.
January is considered kind of like the dead month of film.
Yeah, January, but it seems like it's now only January now.
February and March are getting like a better reputation. Like, it's like, hey, let's start the new year with some good films.
Yeah, definitely. So, that wraps up this recording of Kaiju. So if anything pops up that after recording, sorry
we missed it, but we record once every 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
We're trying to keep this to a bi-weekly schedule.
So Colby right here can, catch up on Kaiju stuff, so I don't have to murder myself editing this like last time. Oh, funny story about last time. So if you guys wondered why the audio was a bit funky last episode,
we'll try and blast through this super quick, because we don't want to bog you down with kind of boring behind the scenes details. So
what happened was I tried to edit and I accidentally deleted the audio data because I record via Audacity, and I restored most of the audio, but a lot of it got corrupted. Yeah. And my anxiety got really bad.
He was editing it around midnight, a couple, like a week ago. Yeah, so this was I think it was like last Sunday, right?
I started editing Monday morning, actually. Monday morning after the recording of episode 2.
Okay, so but sometime it was a night where I had work the next day, and I woke up to texts from Chris, and it was just a progressing story of panic. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
It was like 4 texts. It was like, I got a text from Chris at like, I usually for work, I go to bed around 10 p.m.
Yeah.
I got a text from Chris around 10:30 p.m. So I'm already asleep at this point. It's like, oh shit, the audio's corrupted. We may have to, oh my god, I'm so freaked out right now. Come on, man, I'm scared. And then the next one's like, okay, I think I can figure this out, but I'm still really worried. Next one's like, oh my god, please, I'm praying to every deity that possibly may exist. I am so scared right now. Godzilla, help me. Mothra, help me. Fucking the Great Golden Demise, help me. And then the last one's like, okay, we're good.
Okay, yeah. So I apologize for that story. It's just, this is what happens when you live with anxiety and you're a Kaiju fan who has to edit a podcast. All right, so
a Kaiju-sized panic attack.
Exactly. So speaking of Kaijus, time for this week's
Is This a Kaiju?
Is It Kaiju? This week,
all right, I'm pumped.
The 50-foot woman.
Okay, Attack of the 50-foot woman. Is she a kaiju?
Well, let's set some rules.
Okay.
First of all, size. I'm going to say minimum size for a kaiju is roughly 25 feet.
Like King Kong size.
King Kong is like King Kong in the Skull Island scene, because, they bumped him out in the city scenes.
Okay.
So King Kong, minimum.
Okay.
So she wins in the size department.
But like,
is she a beast?
I don't, okay, I haven't seen the original Attack of the 50-Foot Woman. Is she, like, monster-like? Does she go around smashing buildings and, like, killing people?
She was just after an asshole who, like, I haven't seen the film in ages. I saw it on, like, some sci-fi marathon or something. I think she was just mad at her ex-boyfriend because an alien made her grow. And it's supposed to be like this...
And he, like, what? He, like, broke up with her because she's like, oh, I'm not gonna date a giant chick when I know, like, 12 guys off the back of my hand that could fucking murder someone for that opportunity.
I don't know, but basically it's...
I could go cave exploring.
He said it. Not me. He said it.
Yep, and now that's on recording. Don't edit that out. I am fucking ready for the repercussions of what I just said.
He said it. No, it's the film had like this really creepy hysteria, women shouldn't have power kind of thing.
It's like, oh, like look what happens when a woman is strong. Like, when was this movie made?
50s.
Oh my god, of course. All right.
Were you expecting anything less?
But so I'm gonna give it the first no. Of, is this a kaiju?
Because Strange Beast, she's just a big woman.
She's just a 50-foot tall woman. Like, it says it right. Like, I mean, it's right there in the title. Yeah, it's a 50-foot woman.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
Like, Kong at least counts because he, like, amasses, like, a massive amount of strength. He shows a lot amount of intelligence for a beast.
He's different from a gorilla enough where he's more monstrous.
Yeah, like, he's less like just a normal gorilla and more like he is a fighter. He's intelligent. He's ready to fuck shit up.
He's an ape monster. Not a big ape, a ape monster.
She's just a very large woman.
But we love very large women. We do. No, we're not sizist. We're not,
we're not discriminatory to women of large stature.
Exactly. There we go. All right. So you can find out on Twitter whether or not the 50-foot woman is a kaiju or not. Probably going to be the first no.
Yeah, I'm giving it the first solid no. Stay Puft, give it a yes. Ridley, give it a yes. This one, I don't know. She's not a monster.
Yeah. She's not a strange beast by the technical definition.
Yeah, by the literal definition of the word kaiju, she doesn't apply.
All right, we're going to take a little break, and afterwards, we're going to give our new review of Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. So we'll be right back. Hey guys, quick commercial break, and I just want to tell you guys about the official Gargantucast Patreon page. For as little as $1 a month, you can show your support and give reward along the way, such as a monthly raffle for Kaiju goodies, artwork by the official Gargantucast artist Kaijuzilla98, votes for the next episode topic, and even merch. Yes, we even have merch, like any good podcast should. And any show support is much appreciated, because Gargantucast is independent, which means I gotta pay for everything. From my equipment, to programs, to research materials such as movies, figures, and books, because we all know the kaiju life is very expensive. So, once this episode is over, please check out the official Gargantucast Patreon page in the link down below if you're on YouTube, or you can look it up on Patreon if you're listening to wherever you listen to your podcasts. And we're back.
Okay. I am so ready to talk about this. Okay. A little bit of, Context. Good, thank you. A little bit of context. So we watched Gamera, Guardian of the Universe, the first installment of the Gamera Heisei trilogy.
The Heisei trilogy, released 1996.
Okay.
Literally the year after Godzilla, quote-unquote, died in Godzilla vs. Destroya.
Okay.
So Gamera pretty much had to pick up the slack.
Like, we needed some kaiju action while Goji took his rest.
What's funny, concurrently during this, we had the Mothra trilogy as well.
Oh yeah, I still need to see those too.
We got time. We'll talk
like
about
the
them.
only I've seen the original Mothra, but I never saw the Mothra trilogy following Mothra Leo.
Yeah.
Which fucking everyone who is a fan of Mothra, when I trash talk Mothra, everyone's like, "Oh my god, you need to watch the Mothra Leo trilogy, you fucking pleb." And you know what? Fine, I'll watch the Mothra Leo trilogy, because I found out, like, he's got a bunch of super forms. There's, like, Speed Mothra.
Aqua Mothra.
I think there's one called Eternal Mothra.
Yeah, Eternal Mothra.
And that's just a fantastic name. But, okay,
right,
back to the context. I'm sorry.
We're talking about Gamera.
Gamera. So, turtle, not moth. So, the thing with Gamera is I have never actually sat down and fully watched a Gamera film, any Gamera film, to completion until we watched Guardian of the Universe for the podcast. And all of my experience with Gamera had either come from internet videos talking about it or Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah. Honestly,
I am a gigantic fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. One of my favorite comedic series ever filmed.
Favorite series period. Like,
it's gold.
But-
If you haven't watched it, you need to. If you love cheesy, corny movies and if you ever get some friends together and watch shitty movies and riff them, you're probably already a fan of Mystery Science Theater, and
Probably.
you need to get your friends that haven't watched it to watch it. A+ gold star recommendation.
so my context with Guardian of the Universe, it is one of the earliest kaiju films I've seen that isn't Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, this was my first exposure to Gamera as well. I remember watching it back when JetX was a thing, and they had like, I guess they were playing a movie that day.
Because you mentioned this when we were watching the film, and I still can't wrap my head around that because I watched JetX as a kid, and I exclusively only remember them playing like old Nickelodeon shows,
Power Rangers.
or Power Rangers, or original cartoons. Like
Yeah.
there was this one show called Get Ed,
I remember Get It.
Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Yes, that one.
Can we talk about Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go on Guardian Cast?
If I will say yes, unless someone in the comments say no.
See, like, because I think it totally fits.
Mecha.
It's got a giant robot. It's got giant monsters.
It's Power Rangers
It's Power Rangers, but with monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel if we can talk about Power Rangers, we can talk about Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go.
Yeah. So going back to Gamera, I remember I loved this film so much. Christmas of that year, my mom gave me the Gamera Guardian Universe on VHS.
Nice.
And what's funny with that VHS, it also
that's a damn good present.
what's funny about that VHS is also introduced me to Evangelion because it was released by ADV.
Was there an ad for Ava before the movie?
Yeah. So it was just like,
We'll get to Ava eventually on this
Yeah.
podcast.
yep. So the film is directed by Shisuke Kaneko, who directed all 3 films and eventually directed Godzilla, Mothra, King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters
Monsters All Out Attack.
Yeah, or GMK for short.
Yeah, GMK.
And it's written by Kazuniro Ito, who he wrote the film version of Ghost Show, not the manga.
Of Ghost in the Shell?
Yeah, and he also created Dot Hack.
Yes, I watched a lot of Dot Hack when it played on extremely late at night Adult Swim. I remember back when I was in middle school, Adult Swim, near the end of its broadcast, before it started going back to normal Cartoon Network shows,
Yeah,
Adult Swim would play a lot of anime.
yeah.
I mean, they played some anime stuff like Inuyasha at the beginning.
Naruto.
No, Naruto was more on Toonami.
Okay, yeah.
Adult Swim played Inuyasha because Inuyasha swears.
True. And they used to play Yu Yu Hakusho before we got the censored version.
Yeah, but I remember they played a version of Dot Hack at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember which Dot Hack. I want to say Dot Hack Roots, but I'm not 100% certain. All I really remember is that there was like an old man who like hovered and he had a cane. There was a Neko girl with big titties, and there was like this like try-hard goth guy who's like the stereotypical "I have to get stronger" kind of anime dude.
Yeah.
But that's about it. I remember character designs, not much for like story or anything.
Going back to Gamera.
Yes, I very much am excited to talk about Gamera. It is such an improvement to talk about something this good after the shit show that was the Godzilla anime trilogy.
This is my second favorite kaiju film of all time. No debate.
I can totally get behind you. It's just masterful. The suits look extremely detailed.
They do some camera work that even some Godzilla films don't do.
I will say, like, there are some effects that are a little laughable. Like, a lot of the flying scenes with Gamera look pretty cheesy.
It's because it's the green screen. Because, you know, this came out in 1996. CG is still brand new, especially with Japan. So I don't blame it too much.
I mean, I'm not going to give it shit. I mean, like, cheesy special effects is something you just have to accept when you're a kaiju fan.
But the suit work is phenomenal in this film. And guess what we got in this film? Likeable humans!
Holy shit. Can we just... Okay, let's just break this film down to, I think it's like core successful elements. And I think as they appear, I feel the human characters... I'm sorry, I didn't remember their names, so I'm probably going to describe them by their jobs.
The thing is, I like their characters, I just forget their names. It's not like an anime where they say their names so much where I remember them.
Inuyasha! Kagome! Inuyasha! Kagome!
But, there's, I do remember now, I believe, the main, girl, the adult.
The scientist?
I think her name was Nagame.
Nagame? That sounds right. But, so, we have a expert biologist focusing on birds.
Ornithologist.
That's what they're ornithologist?
Yes.
So, we begin in with Navy ships dealing with a strange small island, and they investigate that, and like on nearby islands, people are starting to disappear.
In a very terrifying scene, by the way.
I mean...
For a kaiju film.
We have like people being like eaten.
Yeah, which is rare for kaiju to actually, zero in on humans. Usually evil kaiju is just like...
They kind of just like smash buildings because it's in the way.
Or they're like maliciously smash buildings. Like, the main villain of this film is Gauss, which is a recurring kaiju in the original Showa era, and will later return in this trilogy, as well as Gamera the Brave, which is the last Gamera film, which is basically, Gauss is Gamera's Ghidorah.
Yeah, the most recurring, consistent villain that Gamera fights, and I feel a very legitimate, intimidating threat.
Because they start out small, but that makes them more...
small relatively for kaijus.
But they make them... They're a
their wingspan tip to tip at the beginning is 15 meters.
But they're still very threatening to humans because they're smaller. That means they can zero in on humans much more.
Yes, they're smaller. They focus on eating meat smaller than them. Like, there's a trap scene where they're like set up in like a sports stadium.
Yeah.
With a bunch of like half-cowed... like half like cow carcasses to attract them.
They're basically flying raptors from Jurassic Park.
Yeah, imagine I think that's a very good comparison. The raptors from Jurassic Park, but they can fly.
And they have like sonic beams that appeared right out of nowhere.
Yeah, I will say the effect that when they first did their breath weapon made me giggle because the effect looks like a cartoon character burping.
It kind of does.
Like that weird like wavy transparent effect coming out of their mouth before the actual laser. It like, honestly, take those clips and add burp sound effects and it would not look out of place to me.
Yeah, but the Gausses were really intimidating. Gamera himself, much of an upgrade from the Showa version.
Oh, he looks fantastic. Like, original Showa Gamera looked super silly.
Cheap.
The costume looked extremely stiff. Like, his arms kind of just flail around while the rest of him is just a fucking brick.
Yeah. With this one, like, it's a good balance of making him, like, more heroic looking, because he kind of has, like, these puppy dog eyes.
He has a very, like, characteristically, like charming aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say, like, he still looks like a monster, but he looks like, the kind of, like, this is weird to describe, but it's like having pet reptiles.
Yeah.
Like, they can look scary and they can look mean, but they can also, at the same time, have you ever seen a smiling bearded dragon?
Yeah. Yeah, it's basically like a pet. He's basically a turtle.
Yeah, he's like a gigantic saber-toothed pet turtle.
But he's designed enough where he can come across really badass. Like, his introduction was awesome.
Oh, the first time you see Gamera in this film, he blasts out of the water and fucking volleyball spikes one of the Gauss into the island and it fucking explodes.
Like, he, like, smacked him into, like, an oil refinery.
Just fucking boom!
And the shot, like, there were some fantastic angles to make him look big. There's some really good lighting to actually make it doesn't look like a stage. It actually looks like he appeared in a city.
Yeah, like, I'd say the miniature work in this film is fucking fantastic.
Miniatures and, like, I have to say, the lighting in this film is fantastic. It doesn't look like a set, which is the problem with some of the Heisei era Godzilla films, the later ones, where they felt more like sets with stage lights. This
feels like some real destruction. The buildings look really well put together, but when they do break apart and get smashed, there's smoke. There's little bits of fire.
Plumes of debris.
It breaking apart into much smaller pieces and flying around. It looks like a monster smashing a city.
And the thing is with this film, one thing I like about the story is the military is not that dumb.
Yeah, they deploy genuine tactics. I'd say he wasn't the prime minister.
He was like some government liaison kind of guy.
That guy was a huge douche.
He's like Diet Gendo from Ava.
It's kind of like, I'm the smart one, my plan is a go, and you stupid scientists with your logic and reason can fuck off.
Yeah, but aside from that, like, also...
Even though, if you weren't here, we'd literally have no idea how to combat these things.
One thing I gotta point out with this film, when we were watching it, it's really weird watching it in a post-Shin Godzilla era.
Absolutely, because there is a small point where, Citizen, I'll get to this character in a minute. His fucking voice in the dub is absolutely hilarious. But he is talking to some form of Japanese government official, and he's like, we can't do anything to combat the giant monsters.
Until we're ordered.
Until we're given an order. We just have to stand here like a bunch of fucking fence posts.
Which is like, Japan doesn't have an active military. People need
they only have a self-defense force.
And even still, there's like, as we saw with Shin Godzilla, there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues where it's like, we can't even have an active call to action without having several boardroom meetings about it first.
We don't see that with this film, but it's funny enough. Even
though it's not seen, it's mentioned. It's like in this little scene, like Shin Godzilla made a huge bit about it, but because it was mainly the focus of the film,
pretty much.
But this film acknowledges like this system doesn't work when we need immediate action for disaster.
But with Gamera, it's less about the government, and honestly, one thing I noticed about the director of this film, that when he worked on with this trilogy as well as GMK, there's almost like this ethereal like feel with this film, especially with how Gamera is basically some science magic creation by Atlantis.
Yeah. There's
like this spiritual vibe to this film, especially with the teenage girl.
Mm-hmm. There's a female character who finds this like medallion, and it gives her like a spiritual connection to Gamera, to where like every time Gamera gets hurt, she gets hurt.
But when she, believes in Gamera, it, spiritually makes him strong. And it really doesn't come across as silly like the Showa Gamera, where it's just the love of children is what feels Gamera. This is more ethereal.
It feels like Gamera's strength is kind of associated with,
willpower.
Yeah. And it feels like... I feel the dub we watched didn't handle it as well as the sub.
Yeah.
The sub, we watched the dub, but with the subtitles as well, and there's a lot of differences between the two. And we noticed that in the dub, they're just like, oh no, he needs me, without any real explanation. But the sub of the same scene made it sound more magical. Like, she had more of an idea of
she became a priestess.
Yeah, they used the word priestess. She is like, oh, he needs my spirit, my energy,
which is a very it's like a kind of like a Japanese mentality, like Buddhism as well as Shintoism.
Yeah, it's this like lending of your spiritual essence, your energy to provide strength to something.
And that's the one thing I appreciate about this film. They made Gamera have a connection to a teenager. Yeah, she's not a kid in a traditional sense, but she is a child.
I believe they say she's 15?
Roughly around there, but it's still like a good update to Gamera, to him being a friend of all children, but he's more protective of all humans.
Yeah, he definitely feels a lot like a protector, and any damage that he causes to cities is mostly just because Gauss is there, he's so big, he causes damage just by being there.
Yeah, it's not his fault, but the thing about the military is, they're after Gamera, but the thing is, they're not wrong for what they saw.
Yeah, all they saw, they don't know what the context is, they just see giant monster wrecking shit.
Yeah, exactly, and again, the military is not dumb, they had smart tactics. It's just, a case where the lesser of two evils.
Yes.
And speaking of evil, I gotta say Gauss, as it evolves and gets bigger, becomes much more intimidating.
I'd say the Gauss suit does have its issues. I'd say it definitely ranges in how creepy and scary it looks depending on what angle you're looking at.
Or whether or not it's the main Gauss, or when it becomes more red with the red eyes. It has
the giant Gauss.
It's called Super Gauss.
Super Gauss? Okay.
Super Gauss, especially there's a scene that's really intimidating where it was
following a subway train.
Yeah, and there was really good angles of looking up.
Not a subway, but just a train.
It was a train, a Japanese train, yeah. And it came.
I don't know how the fuck a flying monster got into the subway.
It's a kaiju film, but anyway, it came across really intimidating, and that scene really stuck to me as a kid because it's really rare we see kaijus actively attack humans.
Yeah, where they're deliberately targeting the humans instead of just the humans are just kind of like a happenstance and they just die because they're there.
And it's really real. That's the reason why I love films like, the Gamera trilogy, where almost all the kaijus have a hate boner for humans, as well as, films like War of the Gargantuas, which, kaijus that actively target humans come across way more intimidating because there's a more feasible threat.
Yeah. And I feel like they really do make a good establishment of the threat of the Gauss, because the Gauss can produce asexually. So it's Gamera really, it's like on a clock. Gamera has to kill these things before they can run away, make more, and come back in greater number.
Yeah. And the thing about Gamera himself is, I like how they build up some of his powers. Like the scene where he first flies, which as a kid was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, when he turns into a giant
UFO.
Turtle UFO.
Yeah. And I wonder if Gamera was the main inspiration for Blastoise in Pokemon.
See, I don't know. I mean, you made that joke. You made that joke when we were watching it, when he starts to shoot fire and fly for the first time.
Yeah.
I remember I was sitting on the opposite couch, and I just hear Chris say, "Fuck you, Charizard, I'm a fire type!"
Yeah. But the thing also, the elbow spikes was another cool surprise, which I forgot.
Gauss had, like, Gamera in a clench, and fucking, like, to keep up the Pokemon references, Gamera pulls a Gallade, and just this spike sword comes out of his elbow, and he slices the Gauss to get out.
Also, we finally get a Kaiju film where the main Kaiju gets his ass kicked.
Oh, he gets fucked up by the Gauss.
Which is a tradition in Gamera films. Like, first fight, Gamera gets his ass kicked, and then he goes, back in the corner. It's like a boxing film. Like you got the first fight. It's like Rocky.
He's got cauliflower ear. One of his eyes is swollen.
Like it's like the first fight in a Rocky film. Like he's like, oh, I'm gonna beat him. Gets his ass kicked. Then he goes through like a training montage. Honestly, like I feel like I know the comparison with Kaiju films and wrestling. Mm-hmm. No, Godzilla films are wrestling.
Yeah.
Gamera films are boxing.
You know what? Yeah, let's keep that comparison going. Yeah, I'm okay with this.
Godzilla is wrestling because he got much more personality. It's all like, everyone's yelling at each other.
But with like Gamera, it's about, let's get these monsters in this ring and they're gonna fuck each other up. Let's beat the shit out of each other.
They gotta go through like a spirit quest.
Yeah, it's like a monk. Like they're doing their meditating, they're restoring their chakra.
My name is Gamera Balboa.
My name is Gamera Uzumaki and I'm gonna be king of the monsters.
Now I just want to watch Creed.
Creed's a good movie.
Or Creed 2. And now I want to get Creed 2.
I must break you.
But going back to Gamera.
But like legit, guys, absolutely fantastic. If you are a Kaiju fan, but like you mostly stick to your Godzilla and like your mechas, I know Gamera's got like this silly reputation that it's kiddie stuff. You gotta give the Heisei trilogy a chance. Fuck, man, I was blown away by the quality of this film.
That's the thing. Like, fun fact, I remember I went to my library and they had the Gamera box set for Mr. Science Theater, and one of the special features was basically the legacy of Gamera and Mr. Science Theater. And when the first Gamera Guardian of the Universe came out in America, there was limited screenings. And most of the people who went there were, like, fans of Mr. Science Theater. So they were singing, like, the Gamera song that they had in Mr. Science Theater.
They were expecting to see, like, scenes kind of like when Gamera was, like, flipping around the pole like an Olympic gymnast.
Him dancing, annoying Kennys, and stuff like that.
And then they see this movie where, like, there's humans getting swallowed whole. The Gauss are fucking eating dogs.
Some monster gore that's not, like... They're like, the show of
Gamera bleeds. He gets cut up.
But the thing is, with the show of Gamera films, there's some monster gore, but it's kind of silly and goofy. It's almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon in a way. Like, people get chopped, like, evenly and stuff like that. But this is like, Gamera gets hurt and you feel it.
Yeah, oh yeah, he bleeds, he falls down.
And the fact that the girl is linked to it adds more stakes to it, because she gets hurt, and they're linked, so it hurts for her, it also hurts for Gamera.
Yeah, it shows that, like, she has to be strong, because, like, he's in the fight, but she's also taking that damage, and she has to stay strong and give Gamera that spiritual energy so he can make a spirit bomb and fuck Gal Frieza.
Gal Frieza.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so the thing about these films is that, fun fact, Shinji Gucci, the co-director of Shin Godzilla, worked on some of the effects for this film. And it's weird, even though he didn't help with the plot, seeing some of the Shin Godzilla reminders was really interesting.
Yeah. This film, didn't you say you did some research and you found it has the record of the first female kaiju suit actress?
Yes.
One of the Gauss was a woman.
Her name is Yumi Kaneyama. She only appeared in these films. I got her mixed up when we were talking about it with another suit actress. But yeah, this is the first tokusatsu suit actress to portray a kaiju, which is something that needs we do more, because we have so many women gymnasts. And
having some, like, flexible, very athletic people in those big heavy kaiju suits could give the monster a lot of personality.
Definitely, and we need to see that more. It definitely in suits, even though it seems like Suitmation is kind of dead now at the moment. But I still want to see at least some mocap. Or, hey, America, I know we love using Doug Jones for everything, but have some female monster suit actresses. They need more work.
Yeah, get like Doug Jones' sister or something.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a sister or not.
I don't know. I don't know either. But no, like, okay, so I want to talk about that human character I alluded to earlier.
Is it the detective or is it Taxi Driver?
I gotta say the detective first, because his voice is fucking surreal.
It almost sounds like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon.
He sounds like Snagglepuss from Hanna-Barbera.
Yeah.
The other pink cat guy who isn't Pink Panther.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I must be a thing. This is so terrifying. There's giant monsters all over the city.
And it's like really tonally different from the rest, because the dub was pretty solid for the most part.
Yeah, a lot of the actors played it straight. I'd say the orthologist, what is it?
Orthologist.
Nagame. I'd say her English dub was fine. A little deadpan, not a ton of emotion, but I feel like
I've heard worse.
Definitely, of course, we fucking heard worse. Yeah, you've heard me voice act. No, she did it fine. The director asshole guy, he was still fine. But he's very much stern military man. Yeah. But I could believe him. A lot of the other actors felt like they were in it. Yeah. But like this guy, it just I get that he was like a silly character, like, oh, he's scared, oh, he's
cowardly,
he's scared and he doesn't want to deal with the kaijus, but he's like, oh, we got to do something to help. But this voice, he sounds like it belongs in a cartoon.
It's really silly and
this guy's one banana peel away from a fucking like that noise that's in like Scooby-Doo, that woo woo woo.
Yeah. He's about to run and go through a wall and have an impression of himself.
No, he was about to do that effect where he runs in place and his legs turn into circles.
Yeah. But we gotta talk about the best character in this movie.
Okay. Taxi man.
Taxi driver.
The taxi driver, he's only in this movie for about 5 minutes.
Because the teenager wants to get close to Gamera, because the military was after him, but she needed a car ride, so she got this taxi.
And she can't drive, so she hops in a taxi. And she gets in the taxi, and the first line, she's like, oh, I want you to take me close to the monster. And he's like, what the fuck? He's like, you sure you don't want to go swimming or something? Like, what did he say?
No, he's like, do you want to go to a movie? Are you sure you don't
want to... you sure you don't want to go to a movie or something? You're fucking crazy?
And the sub said, you monster-loving freak.
I guess in the sub, she's more of a Kenny.
Yeah, but she's probably the best Kenny in the entire Gamera trilogy for sure.
We've been saying it a lot. Should we describe what a Kenny is?
So I don't know the exact origin of the word. I know about it from Brandon Tenold from Brandon's Cult Reviews. I heard him say Kenny. Basically, it's a child who is ultra obsessed with the kaiju and magically knows everything about it and doesn't want the kaiju to die or something like that. We've seen it a lot in almost every Showa Gamera film, some of the later Showa Godzilla films, and
Revenge of Godzilla.
Godzilla's Revenge.
Yeah, the one with the spiky electric dildo monster.
Oh yeah, Gabra.
Yeah, Gabra. Okay, but back to Taxi Driver. He basically called her out as a Kenny. He's like, you monster-loving freak. And then later, when she's trying to get to the monster, there's a patrol guard set up, obviously, because you can't fucking go up to this shit.
But he just ran.
Fucking the taxi driver. He has balls of fucking titanium.
Baby Driver.
This motherfucker is like Baby from Baby Driver. Dude's fucking plows straight through the barricade.
This military brigade.
Doesn't give a fuck. And he's like, yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
God, that was that was a good use of comedy. Intentional comedy.
That was fantastic. And I love Taxi. He should have stuck around. Motherfucker should have punched a Gauss in the dick.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to talk about this film, it has this environmental message, but it's not down our throats, and it kind of makes sense with the plot.
Oh, and it absolutely, kicks the preachy bullshit anti-technology messages of the anime Godzilla trilogy in the face.
It was addressing it as a human problem, because Gamera's origin is basically Atlantis was creating artificial life, and instead of making like a dog or a puppy, which that's a joke I'm stealing from Death Battle, which was a great joke, they made the Gauss, and the Gauss was just, starting to eat everyone in Atlantis. Yeah. So, like, they had, like, fuck, we need to make Gamera to, like, kick ass, but it was kind of too late, and Atlantis basically became Atlantis. And it was also revealed that, Atlantis was polluting the world. And the reason why the Gauss awakened, because humanity's doing the exact same thing.
They bring it up a couple times where, like, scientists are doing experiments with plutonium.
Yeah, like, basically, we terraformed the world for the Gauss. Which is funny, like, I wonder if Guillermo del Toro took that for Pacific Rim.
Possibly. But, I feel like, in this, they definitely, they bring it up. It's like, why do we use this technology? Like, they don't just say technology's bad. They're like, why are we using this unbelievably potent, destructive, like, radioactive bullshit? We know it's bad.
And the film ends basically saying if humanity doesn't change their ways, there will be more monsters. Which is something it's a mature thing, and it also is not hammering us in the face.
It's like, because going back to the anime trilogy really quickly, because it's like, I feel like we haven't kicked that fucking film in the teeth enough, is in the third film, when the fucking humans are hanging out with the Hotua, they make it seem, and when, like, fucking exposition doctor man finds the vulture mech, and Diet Aaron Yeager is, like, getting the voice of Space Elf in his head, and he's like, oh, this is the path humans will take, Ghidorah will come again, and it's like, motherfucker, what? And it's like, did the people who wrote this film try to glorify being fucking cavemen? Like, it's stupid. It's blatantly anti-technology, but this film, Gamera...
It takes the Black Mirror route.
It's more of a, not anti-technology, anti-fucking nuclear weapons.
And anti-pollution. It's addressing it as a human problem.
It's not just technology as a whole, it's the use of bad elements. Like, plutonium, it's extremely destructive, it's radioactive, it's poisonous to the environment. It's genuinely a bad thing.
And, having kaijus be representations of nature, which is what, in an interview, Ito, the writer, brought that up, and Gamera is, like, kind of like it's like if Godzilla's nature's wrath, Gamera's like nature's benevolence. But not like, oh, I love everyone. It's basically, I'm protecting the Earth, but you fuckers need to learn your lesson.
Gamera is a sentient Earth defense mechanism.
Yes. Well, Godzilla is basically nature's anger incarnate.
It's like, oh, you humans are fucking the Earth. Let me, like, push your shit inside out.
Yeah. Where Gamera is benevolent. There's a scene where we get, like, I guess, like, the closest we got to an actual Kenny, where... the main scientist lady was saving this kid who actually was trying to investigate the Gauss, and it got too big. And Gamera, like, blocked the hit for the kid, but it doesn't come across as silly. It's like,
it feels like Gamera is a protector. He is, in fact, a guardian, as the title puts it.
Not the universe.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the universe has been stretching it, because he only defends one planet, which is, like, 0.0000001% of the entire universe.
At least he's a better guardian of the universe than the space Smurfs from DC Comics.
Yeah, the fucking guardian. The Guardians of the Universe from goddamn Green Lantern comics. They're the butt monkeys of fiction.
Yeah, we won't get into that. We're like, disclaimer: if you're not into comic books, and I apologize if this all sounds like a bunch of 1 and zeros to you. But let's just say, if you guys want to get into comics and want to read Green Lanterns, you're not going to like the Hal Jordan's bosses.
If you're an intelligent person, you will not side with the blue-faced, giant-headed fuckfaces of the Green Lantern Corps.
All right, so going back to Gamera, wow, we got this episode out much earlier. Thank Christ, it won't eat up my
entire hard drive.
Yeah. So let's give our rating. I'm going to give it 5 Gamera shells out of 5. This is a fantastic film. One of the best of the tokusatsu genre. One of the best kaiju films. Best Japanese science fiction film, period. If you haven't seen it, go to an FYE. Go on Amazon. Rent this film. Find it wherever you can.
Rent this film. Buy this film. Do whatever stretch you can to at least give yourself the treat of enjoying a fantastically, masterfully crafted kaiju film.
And Cole, what would your rating
I
be?
have to be on the same boat as you. I am giving this 5 massacred cows out of 5.
Not the Jurassic Park cows, but these. What's it with monster movies and cows? Why is the cow the first thing?
I mean, at least it's not Godzilla 98 and the gigantic pile of fish.
No, I've noticed this. Like, we got Jurassic Park with the cow being lowered. We got this film, which the cows are already dead, but still.
Yeah, they're like giant half cows.
There was the scene in Starship Troopers.
Like, it's like the stuff that bringing it back to Rocky. It's like the cow hides he's punching in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you guys seen Starship Troopers, there was like the scene where the propaganda where they showed the bug slicing a cow and they had like censored above it. Like cows get like, can we have some other animal get massacred in a monster movie? I don't know. Like I know like we like to use pigs for testing weapons, so why not use a pig?
Yeah, like throw some wild boar in to attract some kaiju.
Seriously.
Nah, but seriously, double from me and Chris. 5 out of 5s. One of the truest signs that kaiju films can be absolutely masterfully well done.
Yeah. So this is our review. This is Chris.
This is Cole.
And that was the police.
Oh yeah, another fucking siren. God, we are just breaking all the rules, aren't we?
All right,
we gotta go end this podcast before one of us ends up in a cell. You guys have an awesome week.
And this is GargantuaCast, signing out. Hey, thank you for listening to this new episode of GargantuaCast. Please subscribe and rate us 5 stars wherever you're listening to your podcast. We're updated bi-weekly on Mondays. If you're on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow GargantuaCast on Twitter for news and updates, discussions on the latest episodes, or just chat with us, because I like to chat. And we all know Kaiju fans like to talk. Please visit the GargantuaCast Patreon page. GargantuaCast is an independent project, and as such, all equipment and research materials come out of pocket. Any support you give is appreciated and get rewarded along the way, such as merch, voting on the next episode topic, and be part of the monthly raffle for Kaiju goodies. And see you guys on the next episode.